Hey guys, welcome back to Stuff Steve Likes. I appreciate you stopping by the channel and checking this video out. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about a watch that I have here. This is one in my collection that I really love, and I just want to do a short video on it. Hopefully it's short, because I tend to ramble on as I'm doing right now. But this is a really sweet little Seiko. This is the SRPA21. Now, this is in a series of the SRPs that they call the Turtle. Now, the reason they call it the Turtle is because of the way that the case is built. You can see how it's got this little pillow construction where it kind of looks like a turtle shell, and that's why they call it the Turtle. Lovingly, they call it the Turtle. Most Seikos get some sort of there's the sumo and the tuna and the samurai, and they have all these different names that the consumers put on them. Anyway, this is the Turtle, and this is a special edition. It's not a limited edition. They do have a limited edition where they only make 1,200 or however many, and those tend to be kind of crazy as far as price point. These range, typically you can find it between $400 and $450. I got mine on sale for significantly less than that, but you just kind of have to shop at the right time of the year and find the right deals and kind of do a little hunting around. But anyway, it comes with these two hang tags. This version is called the PADI Turtle, and the reason for that is because this was designed in conjunction with PADI, which is the Professional Association of Diving Instructors. And basically this is the little hang tag. It actually looks like an oxygen tank, which is really cool. So that's one of the hang tags, and then this one here says Prospex. And the Prospex series is their series of divers that are actual professional divers. This is a certified diver. Oops, dropped that. This is a series of professional divers. It's 200 meters water resistant. You can see it says Seiko, and that little X on there is the Prospex logo, and then below that you can see it says PADI, which is the basically the people that helped design it. There's automatic. This is running on the 4R36 movement, so it is an automatic watch. And then it says divers 200 meters. So it is a certified dive watch. And man, this is just so beautiful. The dial is really, is really pretty amazing. It's not a sunburst. It's kind of a just kind of a nice reflective blue dial. And this is called the Pepsi version, meaning that it has the red and the blue. The Pepsi logo obviously is red and blue, so that's why they call it that. And it has the 120 click bezel on it, and it just has really nice action to it. Feels nicely, nicely machined, and easy enough to actuate, but not so easy that it's going to be turning accidentally on you. But you could hear that action. It just feels nice and sounds nice. And I really love the hands on this one. It's got the sword and arrows hands. So and the minute hand is actually red like the bezel, which is cool. And you can even see the chapter ring around. It has those little red indices every 5 minutes. So it's got a lot of nice touches. The loom pips are actually surrounded by some reflective chrome too, which is really nice, as are the hands. The second hand is really neat. It's got kind of that counterbalance type of look. So that's kind of cool. And then also it has a loom pip right up here on the bezel. So really, it's really made to be legible. Obviously, if this was if some diving instructors helped design this, they want to put everything they can into it that's going to make it a great dive watch. Another thing I really love about this is that the crown is over here at the 4 o'clock. I actually have on my hand, I actually have a callus from watches that I have that have the crown at the 3 o'clock, and they do kind of dig into the back of your hand. So having it at the 4 o'clock position is not without reason. It's not just a looks thing. It actually keeps it from digging into your hand. So So really nice design there. And the other thing about this is that the lume is just amazing on this. Glows all night, nice and bright. The only watch that I have that's the equivalent to this is my other Seiko SRP field watch and my Orient M-Force. Those two have equal, I would say, equal lume on them, but as far as any other brands, I don't know of anybody other than some of the Swiss watches with the Super Luminova that could rival this in its lume. It really does glow amazingly bright, and the round indices really make it pop. They're pretty large indices, and so they really stand out at night, and so it's really really legible all night long, which is great. The other thing is, you know, the 4R36 movement is quite a good movement, and it does have the day and date. You can see it says Thursday the 29th, and you know, nice and legible. I have the same movement in my SRP715 field watch, and I know it's nice and reliable. This one is running quite accurate. I would say it's probably about -2 seconds a day, and that's really exceptional. I may try and tweak it and see if I can get it right on the money, but honestly, unless it gets farther out, I'm probably not going to mess with it because I'm fine with that. The bracelet is really nice on this. You can buy this with the rubber strap, but I prefer bracelets. They tend to be a little bit more expensive, but the fact that you get the factory bracelet is nice. As you can see, it's solid links, and check it out, solid end links. So great job there. It does have the dual deployant with safety on it, so you just open that up. Stamped metal, but that doesn't really bother me for these pieces here. I always forget what those are called. Anyway, but stamped metal there, and then it does have a diver's extension here, so so you can extend it further over your wetsuit or whatever you're wearing. So really nice bracelet. The only thing I will say is that this dive extension does dig a little bit into your wrist, and you can see right here. I have been wearing it today, and it does dig a little bit into your wrist. So if I had one complaint about the watch, I would say that that diver's extension does, depending on your wrist. I mean, people's wrists are shaped differently. Some people probably wouldn't have a problem with it. Mine, I tend to have kind of a bony wrist right there, and you can see that mark. So little complaint on the comfort of the strap, but overall a nice design, and really happy to see the solid end links on there. And I do have several NATO straps that I might try on this too. I've actually got a blue and kind of a off-white strap that I might try. The blue is almost exactly the same color as this, so I may try that one. Oops, got the watch upside down. Here we go. But yeah, just look at the dial. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful watch, and I had a customer of mine come in who's a watch guy, and he's got a lot of nice Swiss pieces, and he was just going crazy about this watch and just how beautiful it was, and he said, if you ever want to sell it, I'm buying it. So anyway, so I've already got an open offer on it. But you can see how they do the brushing on the top of the case here. So brushing, and then it's polished on the side. And the thing about this watch is, even though I think it's about a 44 millimeter, you can see how lug to lug it's really pretty short, and so it wears really small comparatively. Even though the face looks big and has a really nice wrist presence, it's narrow this way, so it doesn't have it's not hanging over your wrist and all that. If you look at the back of it, it has the Seiko logo, kind of that tsunami engraved into it, and it says special edition 200-meter air diver. Let's see if I can get that to focus. Yeah, there you go. Special edition stainless steel, movement Japan, and then the Prospex logo and your serial number there. There's the clasp there, nice Seiko etched in there. And the other thing about this is it has drilled lugs. Now, people talk about drilled lugs and they're like, what's the big deal? Basically, if you can see here, it's got 2 drill holes here, 2 drill holes here. What that means is that this thing is really easy to change straps on. If you've ever had to dig out the pins out of these. Seiko uses really heavy pins, and the spring is really strong on them, and they're tough to disengage. Even if you have the tool, they're kind of tough to disengage to get the strap off. But the spring bars are really easy to get out. I kept saying pins. The spring bars are really easy to get out because you just pop like a toothpick or paper clip or something in there, and they just pop right out. And so that's really nice. So drilled lugs, very, very nice. It just, really everything about this watch screams quality for the money spent, and makes it easy to use. Now, again, the movement is the 4R36, and so it's a screw-down crown, and it does hand wind, which is nice. So if I want, it's actually fully wound, so I'm not going to wind it. And then you can see it is a hacking movement. The second hand stops, and then that was the second position. The first position is where you change the day and the date. And then you can hear it hand wind there a little bit, and you can see it's kind of spring loaded. And then you push it in and screw it down like that. And the 200 meters water resistance is not what's the word? It's only 200 meters water resistant when the crown is screwed in. So make sure if you ever go in water with this that the crown is screwed down. So definitely be aware of that. What else on the watch? It has the Hardlex crystal, which is nice. I've got the Hardlex on another watch of mine, my other Seiko, and that's actually a domed crystal, and I don't have any scratches on it, which is amazing because a lot of my other watches do. But it seems to be pretty good. I definitely prefer sapphire crystal, but that always drives the price up quite a bit. So that's kind of it. I mean, Hardlex is great. The only thing I would change on this watch really would be that it would have a sapphire crystal, but of course I don't think that I would want to pay a lot more for it. And of course I think you can always get a watchmaker to install one if you're really picky about that. But just overall, you can just tell this thing is really well made. It's a pretty heavy watch. I don't know exactly, but I think we're coming up on 200 grams. It's pretty heavy, but I'm used to heavy watches. And just overall, it's a beautiful piece. And let me give you a wrist shot here, so you can see it on the wrist. So there's your wrist shot, and just nice. I mean, I don't have huge wrists, but you can see how that short lug to lug distance there really makes it look appropriate, and not too crazy big. And I think this would fit a lot of different wrist sizes. So that's a wrist shot for you there. And yeah, I think this guy is just a win all the way around. I know there's other Seiko turtles out there, but there's just something about that Pepsi that just screams iconic. It just really does. And I know there's if you don't want to spend the money, you could also get a Seiko SKX. Now that has the older movement that does not hack and hand wind, which I really prefer the hacking and hand winding especially. Makes them convenient. A little bit smaller case, and in my opinion, not as nice of a bracelet. Some people do like the Jubilee that comes on the SKX, but it is folded links where this is solid, and this has solid end links where that has hollow end links. There's definitely some upgrades on this which make this worth it, but the SKX will get you, quite a bit of similar aesthetics and so forth for less money. So that's another great option. I've never owned one, so I can't speak to their accuracy or anything, but of the movement. But I know that they're pretty well respected out there. Anyway, this is the Seiko Turtle PADI edition, and I just wanted to do a quick video. Well, not quick. We're at 15 minutes, aren't we? All right. Told you so. I like to ramble. But anyway, this is a great watch, and definitely something to consider if you want to get a really sweet diving watch. And this is available in, I've seen, not the PADI edition, but I've seen black dial with black bezel, blue dial with blue bezel, and there's also a black and gold version. So there's a few different ones out there. If you really don't like the Pepsi style, I'm sure you can find one that you'd like. They also are available on a nice rubber strap as well, if you don't care for bracelets. So there's several versions out there, and anyway, I think you'd really enjoy this watch. She's a beauty and keeps great time and has all the features that you want on a professional dive watch. So anyway, you guys have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one.